Our next conversation will be about the youth sports impact with scale, momentum, and so much more. Please welcome to the stage Bill Seeley from Varsity Sports and Rosie Spaulding, as you heard her name already, from Love Volleyball. Lovely to see you again. Hello. Hello, welcome to the stage. Hi, guys.
How are you?
Great, how are you?
Very good, delighted to be here.
We are so excited to have you guys here. You guys are a ray of sunshine. You really are.
Oh, well, thank you.
Bill Seeley.
It's the reflection on this.
Yeah.
It might be, the lights are a little bright, I will say. Bill Seeley, the president of Varsity Spirit, and Rosie Spaulding, you are the president at League One Volleyball. I am so delighted to have you guys both here for this conversation that I think you will learn a lot from, but I will as well. I've had incredible conversations with you guys off stage before we've even started to discuss this movement that we are seeing. And let's start with the opening vision, the why here. You both oversee major forces in youth sports. We'll start with you, Rosie. What drives your organization at this moment, and how do you define your impact on the next generation of athletes?
Yeah, so at our heart, League One Volleyball, or Love as we call ourselves, is truly about opportunities, offering opportunities for growth, development, empowerment of women and girls. So it's really about creating better life outcomes for women and girls through the sport of volleyball. So that's our mission, really. And we do that quite uniquely through our youth to pro ecosystem that we've built intentionally over the last few years. And we now have, I think, 82 clubs, more than 80 clubs across the country. So about 25,000 8 to 18-year-old athletes. And then earlier this year, we wrapped our first season of the Pro League. So we're a few days away from our report date for season 2.
And how did the first year go?
Pretty fantastic. And we learned a ton, which is one of the greatest gifts that season 1 gave us, is to provide us feedback and information on how we can do things better for season 2. But it was fantastic. Thank you.
And as a lot of people in this room know, volleyball is growing by the second. As we sit here today, it is one of the fastest growing sports in the world right now, especially for women and girls. So delighted to have you here, Rosie. Thank you. Same question for you, Bill. Overseeing a lot in youth sports, you do a lot with cheer and dance specifically. How do you define your impact on the next generation of athletes?
I think, our mission is to elevate the student-athlete experience and create exceptional experiences for their family members. And, if you look back at the history of Varsity, 1974, the company started, cheerleaders were wearing saddle shoes, long, puffy sweaters, and it's really the athleticism and the entertainment component that Varsity brought to cheerleading. And so we've taken kind of a stewardship role in the activities that we participate in, and really try to, drive better engagement for the youth, create better opportunities for them, and we're constantly trying to innovate and create new things that keep young people excited about participating. So this year, we're following Love Volleyball's efforts in a pro league, and so we launched the first ever pro cheer league, which will be starting in January of 2026.
What kind of an impact can that have on those young ladies who are already a part of Varsity and are hoping to one day now have the opportunity to be professional cheerleaders?
Yeah, I think, a lot of kids that grow up in cheer and dance, really the collegiate level is kind of the end of the road for most of them. And so being able to provide a pro track for the athletes to continue to pursue their passions, I think is going to do a couple things. One, it gives more opportunities for it, and I think it helps to kind of create a halo effect around the activity and really aspirational things for kids to really look up to and want to be. I remember growing up being a baseball player, I was convinced I was going to be a professional baseball player, play for the New York Yankees. Turned out to be a professional cheerleader, but the opportunities that these kids will now have, I think, will help grow the activity, not just domestically, but cheerleading's growing globally around the world, and we hope that it has that same halo effect in the international world as well.
It's really cool to see the change in both volleyball and cheer and dance. Even in the last 5 years, we've seen an explosion in these sports, and it's only going to continue to rise. It's a very cool transition that we're watching and that we need to pay attention to. And we're seeing a shift in youth sports. It's not just about participation anymore. They're evolving into, as we're discussing, full career pathways for these young ladies and young men. How are each of you building bridges from youth competition to professional opportunity? Bill, you touched on that a bit. Rosie, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think one thing at Love, yes, we're providing a pathway from youth to pro, and you can't be what you can't see, and that's very important to be able to play at the highest level in this country. And what's also important is that we're here for all athletes. I think I think through pro we provide visibility for the sport, inspiration for the sport, opportunities on and off the court for the sport, no matter what level you're at. And I think that's an important part of our philosophy too. So yes, if you want to play pro and you want to play at the highest level, you can do that now. And also, if you're a young athlete that is looking for to play and for belonging, that sort of sense of community and belonging that you get through sports, that's also here for you through Love. So.
Because you're in your infancy and you just wrapped up your first year of Love, what was the reason behind launching a professional volleyball network?
So we started in 2020.
Yeah.
And we saw this incredible opportunity, which we saw then, for the growth of the sport. I think it's 48 million people that have played or play or are fans of the sport. So it's a huge base here. Obviously, collegiate records being broken over and over again, both from viewership and attendance. And yet there wasn't at that time the opportunity for women to play professionally in this country. So it was both that and then doing so in a unique way, where we started with the youth side of the business. So we spent 4 years intentionally building up the youth side, and then we leveraged the spotlight that is currently once every 4 years on the sport of volleyball at the highest level. In Paris, we had 10 of the 12 athletes on the team play for Love to launch our first season.
There's a real future in the sport for young ladies too, and that's the message that you're driving home.
Absolutely, that you can play at the highest level in this country.
Bill, you talked about the fact that cheer is global now. It's not just national, and you're seeing it all over the world, which is incredible. When you talk about the global and collegiate impact that cheer has, what are you noticing when it comes to those two things?
Well, you look back maybe 20, 30 years ago, there was maybe 20 total countries participating in cheer. It's uniquely an American activity, but over those years with the television exposure on ESPN and the collegiate championships that we hold annually, it's really just blown up globally. We're now recognized by the IOC, the International Cheer Union, which we helped launch as the international governing body, and there's a real conversation around the Olympics now, and so I think with all of that excitement, it just continues to build and grow. Globally, China, they have 300,000 high schools. About 5 years ago, they put cheerleading inside all of those high schools. So China is going to be a world power coming up in cheer, I would imagine pretty soon. Right now, the U.S. still has kind of a dominant hold on that. But we're seeing the level globally really just kind of escalate in terms of the number of athletes, which I think goes back to the Pro League. And now you're going to start seeing, kids from other countries coming in and being professional athletes in the cheer space.
What's really cool is you mentioned the word Olympics. Because I am a part of an NBC property, Olympics is my middle name. It's all we talk about all of the time. But when you talk to younger athletes and they are a part of volleyball and cheer, hopefully the Olympics at some point, you think the Olympics, that's the pinnacle. But now there's other opportunities outside of that, which I think is really important. We're talking about scale and a global scale for both of these sports. How do you continue to scale upwards globally, however far you want to take it, while also keeping the same authenticity that you want? For Love and Varsity, you can go next.
Yeah, I think it's about staying true to your mission and your vision. Our mission being to create better life outcomes for women and girls through sport volleyball. Our vision being to make volleyball a major league sport in the next 5 years. And then what that really boils down to is the athlete experience and focusing, like I think any modern league, like focusing on the athlete, what they need and want. And yes, we can't provide everything that they want and need from year one, but listening to them, growing the sport around them, growing the commercial property around them, growing the media property, the storytelling, all of the things that go with the Pro League around them. And I think when you stay true to those things, that's how you can grow authentically.
And Rosie, because you just had the first year of the Pro League, what's been the response? Because I'm sure there's a lot of excitement around this right now.
There's a ton of excitement. I mean, the level of play was phenomenal, and just what we had planned and hoped for, and also the parity across the teams. As a startup in our first year, we had 6 teams, and I think the amount of matches that went to 4 or 5 sets was about 78%, which was pretty extraordinary. And the amount of reverse sweeps kept everyone on their toes throughout the season and right up until the semi-finals, actually. So, some great feedback. And then through our partners, you just heard from Varsity, but to be able to now come back in season 2, have a game of the week, and to be on USA every week, to have Versant alongside of ESPN, our other partner, and just to be seeing the growth and the commercial growth with our partners. We announced Skims earlier this year. We have a multi-year partnership with Adidas already. It all comes down to the core of the athlete experience and the focus of the success on the court, and then building the property around that. But we're really thrilled with the progress to date, and very much excited about coming back and building on that for season 2.
Bigger and better. It's going to continue to get that way for sure. Bill, same for you. The original question about the scale and how you kind of marry authenticity and stay true to that.
Yeah, I think, scale is important, and we're going to be thinking about those things and are thinking about them. But, staying true to the authenticity, I think, is primary, and driving engagement, not just with your existing ecosystem. I think, we have an incredible cheerleading ecosystem, huge fans that are in the sport. It's really about staying true to them, making sure that you're building a product that they want to participate in when they grow up, but then also building it in a way that the general population also can embrace it. And so we're going to be doing some interesting things. We'll be announcing a media partnership tomorrow. And
we're a day early.
We're a day early, and they would shoot me if I said it here. So I'm going to have to hold on that. But I think the live events, both for the folks who come to the live event and driving real strong fan engagement there, that it's a can't miss ticket, while at the same time getting the eyeballs from a media standpoint. And then building shoulder content. We're going to be doing a little docu-series along the way that really kind of helps to kind of feed the pop culture ecosystem and drawing more fans in, because we want to, again, grow the sport. And so getting parents to see that this is really a great activity for their kids to participate in. They then go to their local gyms or the local schools where they get on the teams. And I think, the more young people that can get involved, the better.
And when you and I were talking on the side, you mentioned content, and you started to notice the change and the need for content for cheer and for dance. You're seeing this explosion of interest everywhere. What have you noticed with that?
Yeah, it really, we've seen it in dance. You've seen the cheer on Netflix, the Dallas Cowboys recent one. You've Stumble coming out on NBC, I think, is probably going to be very popular. So there's a big appetite there. Where I've also seen is on a dance side. We held our college championship last year. We were streaming the dance teams there, and it literally broke the internet. Our Varsity TV went down, subscriptions went through the roof. We had to, do some fixing overnight to get the final day the next day. But there's such popularity. I mean, you watch these athletes perform, especially in dance. There's this just really cool connection between art and athleticism, and it's just beautiful to watch. You have 20 plus athletes out there moving perfectly synchronized together, and some of the stuff that these young people do is it's really amazing, and I think it draws that audience in.
I'm sure there's a lot of parents in the room that either have a dancer in the home or know of a dancer, so this is very promising for the future of that sport as well. We're talking about growth, and with growth in anything comes challenges, right? But particularly with athletics, cost, access, burnout, NIL, which is something we've discussed today, media rights as well. What are some of the biggest obstacles? Rosie, I'm sure you could go through a list just because you just had 1 year. What are some of the biggest obstacles that you're tackling head on right now? And what is the biggest challenge ahead for youth sports?
The one that comes to top of mind for me personally is actually on the pro side, because we very intentionally launched single entity, so league owned and operated. We believe that's the most sustainable way to start, and always also knew that we would be adding mission-aligned ownership groups at the right time when we found those groups in the right cities. And actually that's accelerated. So when we started this, we thought that would probably be in years 3 to 5. And as you might have seen, we've already got 2 ownership groups that have joined. We just announced our first expansion city in LA last week. So I think one of the challenges that's top of mind for me right now is just making sure those ownership groups are set up for success. And in some ways, this will be a transition year for us as we introduce those groups and working with them and ensuring that they have what they need. And the sort of highs and lows and ups and downs of any new partnership like that. But I'm very excited with the ownership groups that we brought on board, and excited for all that's to come.
This may be hard for you to answer or to measure, but when you're talking about the growth of where the Pro League is going, how does it feel in terms of scale? You feel like you're growing probably exponentially really rapidly, considering there's only been 1 year, right?
We are, and we'll be expanding in season 3, but that's all happening in parallel. So our athletes report on Saturday, so very much focused on season 2, as well as the expansion teams that we've started to announce for season 3, of which LA was the first one, but we expect to add between 2 and 4 teams in season 3. So
it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's incredible. Bill, same question for you. There's a lot of challenges, obviously, that come with growth. What are you noticing the biggest ones are for you specifically right now, and what are some of those that you're tackling head on?
Yeah, I think, the most important thing around, burnout for us is just to make sure that we continue to innovate and create new opportunities or new ways to do that. So, we've like talked about earlier, bringing the partner stunts, the pyramids, the basket tosses, the excitement, and entertainment components to cheer, and then, helping to facilitate, collegiate sport and stunt. Back in 2008, which is now going to be one of the fastest growing female sports at the collegiate level. It's going to be voted on by the NCAA this year for championship status. I believe that will be the fastest sport that's gone from emerging sports status to championship status in NCAA history. And then the Pro League this year, which is going to be different than anything you've ever seen. It's going to have the team routine in it, but it's 4 quarters and there's all kinds of different things, keeping it fresh and exciting for the kids that are in cheer. So I think it'll create some new opportunities inside gyms to do different things that attract more kids in, and it'll be more exciting to watch and to participate in. So I think keeping things fresh, innovating, building excitement around the sport is everything.
If you have young ladies in the house, if you're listening to this, these are 2 of the fastest growing sports on the planet right now, so this is really good information. Last question for you, because unfortunately we're running out of time here. If we bring both of you guys back in 5 years, a lot will have changed. What do you think will have changed, and what does success look like from both of your perspectives? Rosie, go ahead.
I think from my perspective, I mentioned it already, our vision really is to make volleyball a major league sport and to grow the sport in this country, to elevate the sport in this country. And I think 5 years from now, we should be well on our way to doing that. Importantly, we have the FIVB World Championships in 2027. We have LA 28, so maximizing opportunities through both of those things, and then continuing to work on breaking through culturally and really elevating the sport in that way, so that our athletes are out there and they're visible at the SBs and they're visible at these cultural events.
You're well on your way to that right now. And remember what Nebraska volleyball did. That broke the internet as well. There were more people inside of a volleyball match at Nebraska than I have ever seen. It was truly incredible. So we're well on our way to scaling volleyball at a level we've never seen before. Rosie, thank you so much. Bill, from you too.
Yeah, I think 5 years from now, Pro Cheer League will be launched and well on its way. I think you're going to see international teams coming on board. That's one of our ambitions, is to grow the league, not just domestically, but around the world. I hope we're in the conversation that Love's been able to have with the Olympics, volleyball's been able to have at the Olympics. We hope in 32 that's an option. So in 5 years, that conversation should be set and aligned. So I think, we're going to continue to see the sport grow around the world rapidly, and we're going to be there walking alongside and trying to do everything we can on our side to make sure that we're providing the best experiences for the young people participating.
Incredible. Thank you guys both so much. Volleyball and cheer, bright futures ahead for each of these sports. Thank you guys so much, and give them a round of applause. Thank you. You were amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.